Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you right here on Piper Academy every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, bringing you guys these charts, this news. This is what I wake up for every morning. Starting my day off with a little bit of coffee, getting into the news and the articles, and hanging out with my good friends, OC Guy and TradeFly right here, and along with you guys here in the chat. So thanks for joining us. Get a little coffee in here. Get a little coffee. Got to fuel the brain. But guys, we had some news come in. Solana, if you guys recall, right there, took the fourth place from BNB, and now BNB back up to the fourth spot and rising quickly. Is it reborn? Is there a chance for BNB? Plus, we're going to talk about some stuff going on with FTX. We're going to talk about some stuff going on with Celsius. A lot of exchange news this morning, and plus going to be taking a look and seeing what's going on with Vitalik Buterin's vision for the future of Ethereum. So, guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring my co-host on here because I can't do this show without these guys right here, down here to the left of the screen. That's TradeFly. To the right of the screen, that's OC Guy. And right here, dead center in the target is the Army Piper. So, thanks for joining us today, guys. If you guys are new here and you have not been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. And if you get any quality out of this content at all, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm, and we appreciate it. So, guys, what's up? Good morning. It's Friday. Let's go. What do you got?
Oh yeah. After this, I am headed straight to the mountains, baby. We're gonna hit the slopes with the youngins and just hang out, hit hot tub, drink a little brewskis. I think that's what I'm allowed to say. And
You can
yeah,
say
man.
that. You can say that.
But
Hit the brewskis. Yep. I'm going to be working on a studio all weekend because if you guys don't know, I'm building an entire new studio just for you guys. So Piper Academy going to be bringing out a lot more content. Crux is going to be back here in the El Paso area sometime in next year. January 5th, to be fair. But he's supposed to be helping me do all this. I'm doing it all right now with ZTS Rhythm and my wife. They're helping me put it together. But yeah, we got a whole brand new studio coming that we're going to be broadcasting at least my portion from. Of course, TradeFly and OC Guy doing their beautiful weather, California and Cozumel, Mexico, while I'm here in the desert melting. So,
yeah,
shout
it's
out to the
beautiful,
people in the chat.
sunny,
Yeah, it's
70
beautiful,
degrees. I'm
sunny.
sorry.
Hey, it happens. Mr. J said, morning alumni. He was first in the chat this morning. We've got Justin Eubanks, Crux of Crypto in here, bringing us our news every single morning and putting out all the content you guys see on Piper Academy X. But Nancy Croy's in here, Ninja Glock, Dave Digital. We got Clarence Slade, and then Mr. J said, Piper, do you think you will lose the bet now with XRP passing BNB? I don't know. Either way, what he's talking about there, if you don't know, I have a bet going on. Alex O Crypto, gosh, it must be hard being this handsome. You're talking about TradeFly, aren't you? Because it definitely ain't talking about me and OC. Oh, this jacket? You like this jacket? I got this jacket here. I'm an honorary guardian. I got this in out there in Disney at Epcot Center when I rode the Guardians of the Galaxy Retro Rewind, best roller coaster ever. So, but what they're talking about is the bet that I have a Crypto Archie that when Bitcoin hits its highest peak in this next bull run, 2025, that is going to be that XRP would be ranked higher than BNB. So I think that I may end up losing that bet, but it's a win-win either way. Either way, I am going to win this bet because the bet was that if I was right and XRP was higher than BNB, that I would go out to Dubai, visit him, and buy him a steak dinner. So if he was right, if I was right, he has to come out to wherever I say, whether it be in Europe or Las Vegas or wherever, and he has to buy me a steak dinner. So either way, I get a vacation out of it. So
Yeah.
whatever, it's okay.
How the
yeah,
tunes have changed over the last few weeks, man. You were pretty confident about this a few weeks ago.
Hey, and this is crypto.
Yeah.
OC, how you doing today, brother?
And frozen.
He's frozen. He's Elsa. OC, how you doing today, bro?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Just a little bit with things happening here. It seems like I'm building up too much interference with the new things that I've been having here. Yeah, but
OC
nonetheless,
looks like
doing great,
OC
doing
looks
great.
like Scotty over there trying to keep the Star Trek Enterprise going. Yeah, I've given it all I got, Captain.
Sort of things. I have my Wi-Fi antenna right here next to me, and I have like a bunch of cables on top of it. And I was like, hey, shit, this thing is, I need needs clearance. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing great. I'm doing great, and I believe that you're gonna be winning that bet, right? I mean, I've been talking about Binance recently, right? And despite this, the thumbnail is it's very fabulous for me. I still believe that XRP has a ace under its sleeve, and maybe pulling it up at the last second. I do personally believe that XRP is going to end up higher this cycle.
I hope so. I would like a free steak dinner. That's I just got to say, So I'm gonna make Crypto Archie spend some of that, 500x he's earned over this last market. Um,
There it is.
But hey, I want to give a shout out to Jenna X in the chat here. Jenna X, my wingman in the chat. If you guys don't follow Jenna X, she's putting out amazing content on X and on YouTube, and you guys need to follow her. If either any of my mods in here, if you guys can grab Jenna X's link for X or YouTube, either one, drop it here in the chat for. Always happy to support my wingman and T Shroom. T-Stream was in the house also. So let's get into the news, guys, because we got a lot of stuff to go over today. We're going to start this off really fast here and just stay with me. You guys ready? Here we go. Jumping into the cryptocurrencies here, guys. In the past 24 hours, let's give this a little refresh and fresh. And we're going to be taking a look here. Past 24 hours, Bitcoin up 0.2%. Ethereum down about 1%, but making a little rebound in the past hour. BNB moving back up to that fourth position
There it
there. I
is.
guess I want to have to go ahead and star that because it looks like it's going to be back in the game with this little move it's got going on. Down 3.2% for the past 24 hours, but still up 17.4% for the week. Solana showing some regaining strength here, though, sitting at about 10% up in the past 24 hours, up 1.4% in the past hour, and still at 15% up for the week. XRP, the one that I'm talking about, moving up there towards that BNB, up 0.7%, only up 2.3% for the week, up 0.5% in the past hour. Hopefully, OC is right and we get that thing going. Also, looking down here, Cardano up about static. Cardano playing stablecoin again. It's okay. It does that. It's known to do that thing. Avalanche up about 3.8% there in the past 24 hours. And what else? We got any other big movers in here? Let's look. I will show you the big mover. Here, watch this. Let's get into the big move. Let me put this on a screen here. There you go. How can you? Up 61.6% right there. Guys, actually up, according to TradingView, over 80% in the past 24 hours. So that's what we're looking at there. Looking at the liquidations, guys, we do have in the past 24 hours 61,757 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $140 million, just shy there. And the largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was ETH for $2 million lost on a single trade. Shout out to Bedredden, though. He had a dream that he was in a trade last night talking about Bitcoin. He had a dream about Bitcoin. He was in a trade. It dropped to 19K. He hit a long on it. It dropped to 14K and he got liquidated. And so he woke up with the fear that my portfolio had been totally wiped out. So there you go. He had a dream about his bad trade and I paid the price for it in his dream. So shout out to Bedredden. Nothing going on today in the economic calendar today, guys. Literally a Chicago PMI. That is all we have. That's going on the screen. That's going on the
Yeah.
screen right there. Jenna X saying,
Uh,
I love my cock. Get to the pancake swap here, guys. This is going to be our first news article of the day. We're going to be taking a look at cake today, and here's why. Pancake Swap ventures into Web3 gaming with 1.5 million users. The TLDR in this, we're going to be doing a lot of these because we got to keep it moving. We've got a lot of TA for you. Too long, didn't read. Renowned decentralized exchange PancakeSwap ventures into Web3 gaming with its gaming marketplace. PancakeSwap with the multi-chain support sees success with Pancake protectors and invites developers to join the evolving ecosystem. The gaming marketplace fosters a vibrant community, which is always important in anything. With tokens or with gaming, the community makes it, right. Fosters a vibrant community, allowing developers to showcase games to a vast audience, integrating Cake tokens and NFTs for innovative monetization. So we're going to be taking a look at Cake today. 1.5 million users on PancakeSwap, and they're going to be getting into that Web3 gaming. So big news there. Let me talk about this real fast and do the setup on this here. Back to Trio Cam. Guys, 2013, this young guy named Vitalik Buterin is sitting around playing World of Warcraft. True story, no joke. He went and looked at his character, and they had done an update that nerfed his character. And he's like, but this is my character. I built it this way. This is what I wanted. And then all of a sudden, this centralized gaming entity just comes along and strips away what I own. This is my character. I pay for this. This is my service. How do they have this power? And he decided that things needed to be decentralized, that things needed to be, that people needed to fight for decentralization and for their property, digital property. And he had this vision for something called Ethereum. He had known about Bitcoin from his dad, learned that stuff years before, and decided that he was going to write this white paper up, and this is what was going to be the decentralized punk in the digital revolution, right? My property, my stuff, down with the system, down with the man, down with the centralization. That was his vision. And then fast forward, he dropped out of MIT, Ethereum becomes a thing. It becomes this financialization tool. It is all about money now and big institution and big industry. He wants to go back, and let's jump back here. He wants to go back to Vitalik Buterin and wants to make this Ethereum a cypherpunk again. Okay. So Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin says the blockchain cypherpunk vision was largely swept under the carpet when it began to become over-financialized in the network around 2017. According to a December 28 blog from post from Buterin, Ethereum was initially envisioned as a public decentralized shared hard drive that could leverage peer-to-peer messaging and decentralized file storage, but the vision began to fade, as we already talked about. He said his hope is that the censorship resistance and the credible neutrality and the open participation vision that he had among the cypherpunk values is what he wants to see return back to Ethereum. So he highlighted the roll-ups, zero knowledge proofs, account abstractions, and second generation privacy solutions have become more mainstream, which could uphold some of those cypherpunk values. So I don't see anything he's going to have a big time of a big change to Ethereum, but definitely is going to be Army Piper is having a hard time paying attention to Army Piper. I don't know what that means, Dave. But yeah, I think that this is going to be good for his vision. It's going to get him more excited about doing stuff on Ethereum again. And when he was young and new into this, he had a lot of excitement behind him. So there's a little bit of news on Ethereum. Let's talk about some of these exchanges, guys. Celsius, major exchange, collapsed. People are getting money out of it still to this day. They're still holding a lot of people's money also. Celsius Network gets the green light for Bitcoin mining. So too long didn't read on this. Celsius Network shifts to Bitcoin mining with court approval. Move comes after regulatory challenges with the SEC. The change doesn't negatively affect creditors or customers. The company had filed for Chapter 11 protection in 2022 because they handled their business poorly and that collapsed. So, but yeah, this may bring some money in, so maybe some people can get. Sorry, am I missing stuff over here? Am I missing
You're
stuff
missing
in
a
the
lot.
chat?
Dude, I was trying not to like
Jesus.
die mid, like you're just into it, and I'm holding it in. I don't know if you see me over here. I see OC
I
like
see ya.
cracking.
I see ya.
Yeah, dude. This
But
chat
yeah, so
out of
they're gonna
control, man.
maybe this Bitcoin mining could bring some money into Celsius. But I'm gonna kick it over to Trio Cam. Please tell me what I have missed in the chat. I'm gonna read through here.
I
And
don't think
while
we
we
can even
do,
talk about it. Like it's one of those not safe for work kind of chats, man. Like
oh
it's
goodness
just hilarious.
gracious,
But I was like, you were so straight faced. I was like, how is he keeping it together right now? And I'm
because
sitting here like I'm like
because
about to
over
die.
here I've got my articles here, and then over here is this little chat channel, and
All
I'm
right,
just not looking over
dude.
there.
True professional. That's what it is.
Win
True
live
professional.
BTC ticker. We'll get the live BTC ticker. I actually have that. I could put that on here. That's not a problem.
He's got the
Oh,
Uno
we got
card.
crypto Uno. That's right.
Let's
All right.
go.
Hey, TradeFly, do me a favor. Take this bankrupt FTX news and run with it. We're here, would you? So that I can read the chat.
Yeah, I'll try my best. All right. So, all right, bankrupt FTX. Basically, they're stirring some controversy, right? That's the whole thing. But what's happening is they're valuing Bitcoin at 16,000. That's what they're going to pay back to the customers once they start paying them back. I know a lot of people are upset about it, and I truly understand that. I sympathize. But it's kind of common. You saw that with Voyager as well. They basically were like, hey, we're going to give back a percentage. And that percentage was actually fluctuating with the time that they paid out and with the legal cases that they had going on. So there was actually some emails that went out as well that said, hey, after this payment, we still actually have pending legal cases that could increase that percentage later on. So this is kind of an initial saying, hey, we're going to pay you back at this value. But honestly, like, it could be zero, right? You could have lost everything, and it's good to get something back at a minimum. And I know that's, it's terrible to, to look at that way. And I know people are they're going to be out a lot of money because if you hold multiple Bitcoin, that's a huge loss for you. And I can really sympathize with that. But also too, let me give you a little something to think about. Okay. So I know that people have some pretty big losses with that, but if you have capital gains in other places, say you had a really good year, maybe this year in particular, because Bitcoin and crypto have actually pumped up since January. So if you were still invested maybe in some other exchanges, or you just had a good year, you can offset your capital gains with these losses too, right? So you can claim those losses and then you won't be subject to as much tax at the end of the year. So it is maybe a very teeny tiny silver lining or something for you to think about if that's not something you already knew.
I don't know that there's that much of a silver lining if I'm going to lose,
Yeah, I
almost
know.
$30,000 on every Bitcoin. But yes, if it's in comparison to getting nothing back, and this is how they're able to pay people back is because they're going to pay such a low amount they can give everybody a little something. This is better than a kick in the ass, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, for sure.
um,
For sure.
yeah. OC, your thoughts on this? OC, he's
Cricket.
frozen.
Cricket.
Okay.
All right, good. Yeah.
Hey,
He's
OC, any
playing
thoughts
Uno.
on this FTX? He's playing Uno.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is just killing me. They're supposed to be working on it from the last hour, but the internet is just killing me. Yeah. Talking about FTX. Well, then I do agree with you, Piper, on most of the points, and also with TradeFly because it's a little bit delicate on what might be going on. But as far, and I'm gonna be using mostly the same analogy that I use on Binance. As long as they start making the right calls at the right timing, doesn't matter if they hurt themselves, but they start giving that confidence. I think they're gonna be making it. But I mean, this is not the time to start grabbing people's money or start making some twisted things around for FTX.
Yeah, I agree. With your take on that too. Yep. Look, it sucks. I would be pissed off if I was the person that was holding Bitcoin on FTX and they said we're going to give you back $16,000 per Bitcoin, and I'm looking at it being at 43,000 ish range right now. Um, I would be pissed. But
That
if it was,
stings.
like I said, if it was in comparison to zero, I will take 16K over zero any day. Crux of Crypto said if Celsius would give me my 40% today, I just put it into Bitcoin and ETH and give me 100% in 2025. I can wait. So yeah, if they do the partial, hey, look, this is the upfront piece, and then the rest later. Crux is like Crux said, most people would take that. So let's go and jump into the rest of the news here. Thanks for bringing that news for us there, TradeFly. Bitcoin no longer cheap, guys. Fees jumped 35x in 2023. Bitcoin daily transaction fees have shot up recently, according to the data from the market intelligence platform Into the Block. The BTC transaction fees have hit new highs in 2023. The transaction fees here naturally refer to the amount that any sender has to attach to the transfers to do anything with um, anything on the blockchain for Bitcoin. And it used to be cheap, but then we had this thing come along called Bitcoin Layer 2s, BRC20s, ordinals, that is now raising the price up tremendously, evidently by 35x in 2023. So, is this going to be something that causes people to slow down on buying and selling and trading Bitcoin? That could happen. And as Eric Wallen said, the winners are the miners. Yes, you are right, man. I am up 50% since I got on the Clean Spark, which was much later than you, Eric Wallen. So yeah, shout out to Eric Wallen. He was in those miners way early and has made a fortune off of those mining companies on Bitcoin mining. Because why? 35x fees. That's why. Let's jump over here. Republican lawmakers calling for the removal of SEC's Gary Gensler. Now, I had an article about this yesterday, and typically I will skip over these because it's the same thing on repeat. But this one actually has some interesting stuff in it. The number of people that are involved in it, and the actual reason that they said it's over bias and damage to the digital asset industry. So let's take a look here. In a bold move, U.S. Congressman Warren Davidson, with support from House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, so we're getting the House Majority Whip involved there also. He's advocated for the firing of SEC Chairman Gary Gensler, Dirty Gary, in 2024, attributing his stance to alleged corruption and abuses of power. So, yeah, thank you. No thanks. I don't want that. The development comes amid escalating tensions between the SEC and the digital asset sector throughout 2023. So they want to restructure the SEC and fire this guy right here, dirty Gary Gensler, the lizard man. I love that he's green on here. It is so perfect. What you got, bro?
Oh no, I was just saying bye.
Bye. Later. Peace. And then today's headline, guys, Solana retraces back to pre-Christmas prices as BNB takes the fourth spot. Solana lost its place as the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market cap after being overtaken by BNB in a short week. The price of Solana's token cooled in the days after the Christmas, despite an impressive 120% monthly rally, and saw its market cap grow larger than that of BNB's. The retrace saw Solana's price fall below $100 before spending several hours at pre-holiday prices just above 101. Little rat snake weasel. I agree, Jenna X. That is Gary Gensler 100%. At the time of publication, Solana is changing hands for 105, roughly down 14% from its yearly high of 123. And we're going to be taking a look at that. We'll be looking at Cake, BNB, and Solana here in just a second. But first, we're going to jump over, check out Bitcoin here, guys. Looking at Bitcoin for the day, currently sitting at about 42,990. Just rounded up, it's 43,000. That is our current resistance right now. You can see here that we did start to get a little ribbon flip coming in off of that Oscillator Pro, but we are at the zero line, so be careful because sometimes we will reject off of that zero line. If we get above that zero line, especially if we get that little 45-degree angle box that OC likes to do, and we're greater than that in the A section, we're going to be looking good on that ribbon there for the oscillator. We do have a nice green candle coming in here on the RSI Prime, sitting on Heikin-Ashi style, and you can see not getting any wicking. Had a nice lessening there of those the size of those candles on Heikin-Ashi, and then bam, pop up it goes. And then also signal line reversing to the upside. So we're looking pretty good here on Bitcoin this morning. But something that I want to point out to you guys, I got a little thing here to show you. One, we did get massive support here over these past two touches and dips that we had right in the dynamic reactor, giving us, hey, look, support. It's like a trampoline, like Jay Bravo says, right? Every time we touch this thing, that's where we find it. We identified that we were kind of in this rising channel here, and we also have self-identified. This white one here is from Auto Printing Chart Patterns on Chart Prime, which is fantastic. I also said, look, we're kind of in a symmetric triangle. Well, after taking a different perspective of this, because sometimes you just got to change your look, you go back and reassess. I actually think we're more into something like, and let me turn this off. There we go. I think we're more into something like this, guys. I think we're in this rising channel here, which Chart Prime did kind of print off, but I think that my lines are a little more accurate right now. I'm better than AI algorithm. Thank you very much. We have this channel going here. You see that we had a little breakout period here, but we came back in getting multiple touches here. We just touched on it in the past 24 hours for a perfect bounce there also, but we also got that rejection on the 50% line. I do see that we are going to be coming back up here, and if we make it through that 50% line, we're heading back to that 887 at 44,500. If we're going to do that, might as well expect that we're going to get a wick up grabbing liquidity over here from previous ranges. So looking like Bitcoin could be moving to the upside today. Depending on what goes on with the Dixie. Mind you, we are heading into the weekend, and it's very easy with low volume to see that move in as bears or bulls take charge. I do want to show you guys one thing real fast. Speaking of volume, though, that I saw here also. If we turn on the volume and take a look here, I want to first isolate this off. There we go. Let's bring this in. We got this little trend going here of volume cutting down. You guys can see that right there. Volume's getting less and less and less and less. It's just dropping, right? Well, if we go in and we look here at the RSI, and I put this, put a trend line on here. There you go. I'm doing trend lines for you here on RSI now. Let's get up here. There we go. Bring that right down. You can see that the RSI is getting this rejection also. We take another line and we put it on here, and we look at volumes getting lower and lower, but this is starting to get this higher and higher move. We got a little wedge going on here with the RSI. It is very possible that we see sometime over the next 7 days that the RSI continues to grind in. Meanwhile, we continue consolidation here in the platinum pocket. We break up through this trend line, giving us a breakout. Don't do that. Let's do a white line instead. Normally, I'm trying to do stuff and it draws. Now I'm trying to draw and it's doing stuff. Getting a breakup of this volume also, and lessening. So right now it's kind of getting tight. All that volume is getting low, a lot of energy. I think we're going to see a breakout of this platinum pocket sometime in the next 7 to 14 days. That's my call on Bitcoin right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you got on the charts over there. TradeFly, you take whatever you want to take, and then I'll pass it over to OC, and we'll just start this round robin. Let's get it.
Alrighty. Yeah, first thing I got up is the DXY. Did you talk about that yet at all?
I did not.
All right,
for it.
cool. So we've been talking about the DXY for probably a few days now, and the area that we thought that we'd find some support is about the 100, 101 area, and sure enough, we did get a little bounce there. We have been talking about the inverse correlation. Understand it is loose, but it is going to be a driving factor. If you do start to see some continuation to the upside for the DXY here, if it starts to continue up, not cooperating with me right now, why would it? And here we go. So if we see a continuation to the upside there, you may see Bitcoin price have that door kind of open for it to pull back a little bit more. Now, there are a lot of people talking about DXY potentially falling through this 100 area, right? There is a little bit of pressure there, but for me, kind of looking at it right now, if we do get support here, then we could be setting a higher low, which for me would kind of indicate that we might see some pressure actually to the upside. So we kind of got to wait to see how this plays out. But the reason I'm talking about it is I would just say keep an eye on it, right? Continue to monitor the situation. And what I would do is actually set an alert here at about the 100 area to see if that falls through, because that's going to be a massive indicator for us. If it does fall through and we see it go to the downside, then that could open the door for some movement for the crypto market to the upside. So just wanted to point that out to you guys and just say, hey, keep this on your radar.
Nice, nice. What you got? Do you want to do cake later and pass it to OC, or how do you want to
Yeah,
do
man.
that?
Yeah, I'll pull that up and then we'll come back to me.
Okay, OC, what you got, bro? Oh, Mexican spaghetti.
Absolutely. So,
Spaghetti time.
Trade we got a reversal for you. Possibly looking for
Oh,
that one. So
oh,
perfect. Love to
great.
see those reversals, especially to the upside. I want to bring up two assets very quick. First of all, I want to bring ADA. Why? Because yesterday we were looking and talking about ADA. So if I bring up yesterday's session right here with us, guys, we're gonna be seeing that we were talking about the Wyckoff method there, and also we ended up giving a possible movement on ADA. All right, so this is what we were talking about. You can go check it out at minute 30:59. So now we're seeing that result of that analysis. All right, so something changed in here. I don't know what, but all right. And then remember that I was talking about jumping in as soon as we have flip of the ribbon. Seems like the flip of the ribbon is actually happening as we speak. And also, we went back inside the channel that we were talking about all the way up here. So, a very nice week there. Basically, start moving up again. We have our green candle in here, small candle, green candles. So basically, I will be jumping into a trade in 1 or 2 candles in here for the upside. This is not financial advice. This is what I'm gonna be doing. And also remember, if the conditions of the market change, I also be quick to be changing with them. All right, so not financial advice, but I am looking for a possible continuation as we might be seeing some balances in the market. Another one that I want to take on, it is AVAX. AVAX 1 hour. I'm already into a trading here. We analyzed AVAX also yesterday. I believe that was for major pain. So major pain. If you are here, chat, thank you for suggesting that one. And look at that, we were looking at 41.91 and also 38.61. So we enter on the 38.69 right here, 38. What is it? 69, almost there. Look at that, almost at the edge of that little wick right down there. So I did not cut it exactly at the pullback. I call it basically bouncing up. So I jumped into a 1 hour time frame. Let me also show you why I jumped on that one, because it was at the base of this falling wedge. All right. And not only that, well, on the 4 hour was bouncing from the dynamic reactor, therefore giving me the heads up. At this point, I'm moving, or after this class, I'm going to be moving my stop to entry. Why? Because I want to prevent this section to be falling back or below my entry point. If it does, and then maybe goes finds some support in here or here, I'll be quick to re-enter. But so far, I will be moving my stop to entry and also waiting for. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. We're having that beautiful retest at the VPVR line and a possible next target to our smart target and also to our dynamic reactor and VPVR next spike that we got going on there. So I want to see a flip of the ribbon here. I want to see some green candles here, and I will want to see the ADX flipping up and whatever green histogram I have there. So most likely, because of this green histogram and the possibility of the ADX flipping, I'm keeping that trade alive, and I have not yet taken any profit. So throwing it back to you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff there, OC. Tradefly, I'm going to go ahead and knock out Caspa, and then you can take cake right after this. Shout out
Sounds
to
good.
everybody that's joining us in the chat, guys. I appreciate you all being here. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get notified every time we go live every Monday through Friday. Take a look at Caspa right here, guys. We had this move yesterday, and I told you guys, like, we were in these phases here. I had my little trend line, almost hit it there. It broke up. I said, let's go ahead and set one down here, and we'll set another one up here for alerts so that we can know if we're going to break up or down, because it's either going to come back to retest the phase 4, or if we break this phase 5 and get a breakout. I told you guys we're in this channel. I drew this on here live yesterday and said, when you get that breakout of it, that's just where you're going to hit your entry at, and then you know that which way it's going. We'll set an alert up there to see if it's going to break and hit that phase 6 golden pocket. Well, that's exactly what happened. Since yesterday morning, when we drew this regression trend tool on here, we broke that phase 5. We have now retested with the rejection on the phase 6 golden pocket and have pulled back. Guys, we're sitting here on the value area low of the fixed range volume profile. We actually got rejected that peak coming in right there on that fixed range volume, hitting right on that phase 6 golden pocket right there at 12.87 cents. Now we are retesting that value area low, and it looks like we're getting a wick up again. I assess, as we will say, that this is going to now start a range in here and then build up more energy to break back above that point of control, coming in cleanly right there on the phase 6. That's what I'm looking at. That would also, if we just range a little bit there, would give time for this overbought to cool back off here, get us back out of that 70% range, and come back and for a reset here on the signal line. So going to be watching for that. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert right here on this value area low, the fixed range volume profile. And then we've got that going for us. And then I'll be watching throughout the day to see if it breaks that phase 6 there, golden pocket. So shout out to Crypto Billy in the house right now. Hola, my friend. Crypto Billy got Billy Goat Tales on X. I'll be watching my Twitter, my X account. I'll be dropping a link here later today so that you can do some you guys can join us there on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I just got asked a question and he threw me off. Piper, why don't you use trend lines? I do use trend lines, man. I use them quite a bit. That was what I had on my Bitcoin. That was my literally right here, like trend lines. Where is it? Where's my trend line? There it is. There and there. I use trend lines. I just use them to identify patterns. Also on my Ethereum, I've got a very long trend line running here on Ethereum, which goes like way back, like Thursday way back. It goes. How far back does this thing go? It goes all the way back here to
70.
November 22nd of 2022. So yeah, I use trend lines. It's just I'm looking for a confluence, so I use a lot of things. I use Fibonacci's, I use fixed range volume profiles, trend lines, oscillators, regression trend tools, whatever tool I need at the time. I was a master weapons trainer in the Army for NATO, so I'm also a master analyst with my tools. So whatever tool I need for the job is what I'm going to pick up and use. Sometimes it's trend lines, sometimes it's Fibonacci, and sometimes it's gut filling, like I had with Pepe back in the day when I made $1,000 in like 12 hours. So
Right.
let's get into cake. Let's get into cake. Let's go.
All right, so cake is kind of a funny one. So I went back and I looked to where we really had the beginning of this move up for most of the crypto market, and that was about early January, right? So if you guys remember that early
Right.
January, we had that first big leg up for Bitcoin. Everything seemed to follow. Something that didn't seem to follow though was cake. All right, so cake went up, right here to about this resistance area, about 4.4, and then there was a massive pullback. So not really sure why that is. I haven't researched to see why cake pulled back so hard, but it did. A whole market trended up and right, cake did not. And now we've had this just massive move up, and that only started in October. So right about the time Piper said to get in the market, cake decided it wanted to play nice as well. So pretty big move up. But if you're looking at from the January area, which is where everything really started to move to time now, that's only a 7% move. Everything else is up probably about 100%. So looking
Yep.
at that, one of the things I wanted to look at was the fib extension, right? Because it started making its move up. So you're kind of going to that impulse move up and then the pullback, and then you're saying, hey, where can we go? Well, we're about where you would expect that to be kind of capped out. So it's pulled back. It's really still within that fib extension. And again, we're only sitting up about 70 or 7%. So, you know, the good news is here, looking at the dynamic reactor, it's finally gone green. And that took almost 10, 11 months for that to actually flip into the green to show that, hey, we have some momentum pressing us to the upside. Now, this
Yep.
ties into some news also. Think about the news that just came out about Cake, and they're kind of getting into the Web 3.0, the gaming, the utility. They're bringing that part of it in. And I think that might be why you're starting to see some pressure to the upside. So let me just give you one like simple horizontal line. And again, this is weekly, this is top down look, and that's going to be at about 4.4. 4.4, just looking at that. If you go on the daily, you'll see it a little bit more than on the weekly. So let me pull that up real quick. And then I want to go back here. And, we've kind of talked about how I like to do the horizontal lines. And the reason I like this area is because I see support, that big move down that kind of solidifies for me. You have resistance, it comes back up, acts as support, and then a major move down. And again, you just see it's flirting with this area specifically quite a bit. So I'm going to keep my eye on about 4.4. That's kind of where I would set an alert for some kind of rejection. Again, I like to look for those smaller percentage moves to see an initial rejection there. It pulls back and then it finally breaks through. And then if you want to go long, or when I like to go long, I like to see that retest of that area. So once it does break through, or if it does break through, I would look for a retest of this area and then a continuation to the upside. That's kind of how I like to play the game. And again, here is Chart Prime just crushing it. All right, you see this falling wedge here. It breaks out. Let's open it up a little bit. So you get that little breakout, comes in, and then finally it just pushes right through. And let's measure that move here. Here's your little shill moment for Chart Prime again, and 38% move after the breakout. So There it
Let's
is,
go.
man. Just every
Let's
day,
go.
every day I bring something up on the daily or the weekly, and I look back and I'm like, if I only met Piper a month earlier, you know, it'd have been awesome. But is what it is. So that's my little take on a cake. Let's see what you guys got.
All right, OC, let's kick it over to you. What you got for some TA for these people, man?
Absolutely.
Guys, let us know in the
So
chat
I
what you'd like us
want.
to check out real
Yep.
fast. OC, guys, let us know in the chat what you would like us to check out on some technical analysis. Just start dropping it here in the chat. We'll get it up for you. We'll get it up like cock for you. So go ahead, OC.
Oh, I want not to give it, but for him to use it. Triflight. I mean, you need that ace. I mean, we don't have aces, so maybe just change the color of
The
that.
wild
I don't
card,
know. You
baby.
guys need to.
The wild
Yeah, what
card.
is it?
Yeah,
Nice,
man.
nice. So, and we need to start giving meanings to these things. I don't know. I crypto, no, I kind of like it. So, I'm gonna try to give myself this one because I'm gonna be grabbing 4 more cards, which I believe that could be beneficial on BNB. So, I've been talking about BNB recently, right? And I've been telling you guys that all right, Binance is doing things most better, right? Better than before. I still believe that it has a long time to go, but since they're I mean turning make like the public turn heads to them while doing correct, or while doing better. I believe that's why they're pumping. So we have an ongoing trade. I haven't only take 50% out in here, and I haven't take the rest of it. All right. So why I haven't take the rest of it, and I'm already at profits. I will be waiting to see if I can reverse in here. Why? Let me clear my spaghetti right now. But before I do, just take a mental picture of this. This is exactly when I decided to enter, and it was live here with you guys. All right, so let me clear the spaghetti, and I'm going to do something that I like to do a lot. So inversing my chart. If I go and analyze this, I go back. Then I see a little range or a little range, a V-shaped recovery, and my next high not higher than the previous range. All right. So based on this, this is giving me the startup of a possible Wyckoff range. All right. Is it completed? No. I want to see a reversal here, and that's why I'm holding that long, because if I invert it back, I will be seeing the possibilities of bounce, and adding to that thesis, I can see that I'm almost there with that bounce on my oscillator. Remember, I'm waiting for FOR, flip of the ribbon, and one of the most important parts where the flip of the ribbon happens, it's right at the 0 line. So there is a strong chance that we keep moving forward and up. All right. And that will also be my last chance, because if I do not hold it, look at the free space between support and resistance, and also the big space between those spikes on the VPVR. So that's why I'm moving my stop to entry. I already have taken 50% out. I took it here, all right? And then I'm just holding to see if I can go for that blast. If I start seeing moving back up, I'll be adding back to that position there. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. Anyone else wants to bring up some charts?
Yep. I got some Bitcoin Satoshi version, BSB, requested by Jenna X here. She said, please tell me it's going to dump. So I got some good news and some bad news for you, Jenna. The good news is that had you traded this on a long, Chart Prime's call here on the chart pattern with the breakout call would have netted you a big breakout movement here. Let me go get the measured move here.
Show me,
Let's
baby.
see here.
Show me.
Of currently 66% at its top 73% move on the breakout call there. We also had, and I want to show you a couple of other things here, traditional TA wise. This yellow line here, this is the 100-week exponential moving average. You can see here that we had a beautiful test of the dynamic reactor for a bounce. Again, the dynamic reactor always giving you those little support calls, just like it did back here, like it did back here, like it did right there, for these little small moves that you can pick up on there. Let me go here, bam. That would have been a 23% move just right there in that range. But what I want to point out is, if we look at the 12-hour here, we can see that the volume came up and it started to drop, right? But then we went back green and we got another pump here. If we bring this down to a lower time frame, let's bring it back like we left something, okay? Looking here, we can see that we are looking at a green candle coming in right now again on the RSI Prime, and it looks like we're about to have the famous OC guy, FOR, flip of the ribbon there on the chart Prime Oscillator, telling us that we got more upside coming again. You can see that the volume starting to come back in, signal line starting to push back up. I would have to say, based on what I'm seeing on the charts right now, that we have more upside coming to BSV. Now the question is how much higher can it go? Let me go and see if I can pull in. Let's get rid of the dots. I'm leaving polka dots all over the screen here. Let's go see if I can pull in some fibs based on some old data. So let's go back, turn off the volume here, bring that up, and let's go back and see where we're at here. Let's drop a fib in here. Let's catch it on the top of that line. Bam, there we go. Down to the bottom. Okay. There we go. And then let's go in, because this is on my fib strategy. I want to go in and check this on the platinum pocket and golden pockets. There we go. Yeah, I think that we're easily, since we broke the golden pocket, you can see we had a rejection here on the daily. Let's go on the 4 hour just to see exactly what happened here. Yeah, golden pocket rejection, retest of the 50. That's bullish. We're above the golden pocket. I would say our next level is $115 to $128, being looking for that rejection if we're going to get it here in the platinum pocket. Possibly rejected on the 786, coming back to retest the 0.66, which would be another bullish formation there on that price movement up for BSV. And that's what I got for you, Jenna. Sorry, I'm sorry, that's not the news you wanted to hear. Your price, your liquidation is 260. Just keep it under that. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that stays under 260 for you, but no guarantees, not financial advice. So, Trade Fly, what do you got? You got anything that you saw in the chat you want to pick up?
I was looking up OXN, but I can't actually find that one. So unfortunately, not going to be able to check that one out. And then I was just kind of going behind you, looking at BSV, just seeing what I see on the charts, but it's pretty similar, to be honest. Yeah, it wicked right off that golden pocket area. So,
Well,
yep,
Dave
that one's
Digital
going to be
asked for Theta,
Theta.
Theta. Yeah, Theta, if you want to take that one.
Yeah, let me look. Pulling that up right now.
Cool.
I think I have that. Let me
And
see
then
here.
Crypto Billy's asking for Polkadot. OC, you want to take Polkadot there? And I'll look and see what we also have. Let me check one thing while you're pulling that up. I actually want to check something for Jenna that I did not check. I got another tool over here I keep forgetting about. Let's go in here and let's put in BSV and see what we got going on here. And then I'm going to drop it over to my chart.
Right on.
Wow. Never mind. Holy cow. Yeah, there's like no liquidations in sight, dude. I'm looking at the monthly, the 3-month. Look here. I'm looking at the liquidation heat map, and there's literally nothing coming in on the 3-month for liquidations. Like it's all
Oh,
down
gee.
below. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
so
down
that's like
below.
true, like
Yeah,
discovery
there's no
mode.
liquidation lines coming on here right now.
Yeah.
Jenna, this is just gonna keep moving. I mean, even if we go into lower time frames, the daily, it's still purple up there. I'm not seeing anything there. Let's check the 12 hour. There is a little liquidation line, but it was cleaned out right there with that pickup. Yeah, there's nothing here. We might get a move
There's that
down
one.
here
Yep.
below us here that might move us down to that price range there of 101.58, but it's only like $19.5 thousand of liquidations, and I would say that these people have a lot more money moving. So yeah, that's
Wonder what the
harsh.
cap
That
is
is
on that.
harsh. What the market cap is on it?
Yeah, yeah. Look that up to
I'm
see
not
how
sure.
influential that
Oh,
11
this
million will
isn't
be.
Theta. This is Bitcoin
Yeah.
Satoshi version. Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
not look
and
up market cap?
yeah, I can look up market cap. But you were talking
Because you know
about
what I'm
Theta, or are
saying?
you
So
talking about BSV?
sometimes you're kind of looking at how significant that 11 million will be or that 50 million will be, just because if it's smaller market cap, that has a greater
Right,
impact.
but that's not on Theta. I was so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
no, I
sure what
know.
you were talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the total market cap on BSV is sitting at about $2 billion. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
not much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, let's kick it back over to you and you can do some Theta there. I just wanted to check that to see if there was any liquidations on the heat map ranges. So no, nothing. So
Right on. All right, so looking at Theta, it looks like we actually just broke out of an ascending triangle. If you guys are familiar with that, I'd say that is a bullish pattern. and it's more likely to break to the upside, which is what we saw. Now, just looking
Well,
at that pattern,
we had a little fake out below, but it
we did.
canceled it out. That's why that red line is there saying, nope,
Yep.
this is not working. So
Yeah, and the pattern also was lining up with the dynamic reactor, right? So both of them were saying it's pushing up. So you see this kind of ascending level of support, and really, even if you kind of did your own trend line, which is what I typically like to do. Like if I'm looking at these, I'm kind of looking at the wicks here. Still the same thing, right? We still see that upside pressure, and it did end up breaking out, right? So now it looks like it wants to come back down and potentially retest that top area, or that what was previously resistance. It looks like it wants to flip it into support. And that is what you really want to keep an eye on, right? So if you're looking in
yep.
this area here, is you want to look for this retest, right? And that might be an area for a potential long setup. Now, looking at the prime oscillator here, you can see we're starting to get into the overbought range. All right. So it is starting to trend back down, but you see that a lot of times when you have that movements to the upside, it's always going to get into that range. Now, what you would like to see, as they always talk about, is the flip of the ribbon, right? So if you're looking for the retest, you get to the flip of the ribbon here on the prime oscillator. That is kind of your indicator saying, okay, cool, we might be headed in the right direction. Also, you can come down, look at the volume. You can see now it is, we'll say, a little bit negative on the side of volume. So that's what I always caution people to look at the volume and see which shade this is looking at. A lot of people just wipe that out and they just look at it straight from a volume perspective. Well, I would say consider the shade, right? Consider the shade, because that's saying that this actually is more selling pressure than buying pressure when it darkens. So keep that in mind. You want to see that that actually flips. You want to see something that is actually more buyers and sellers, and then you're coming down and you're kind of looking at the money flow, which nothing really wrong with that. So it seems to kind of be steady. All right. It's kind of
That's
trending
static,
just right down the
pretty
middle.
static.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's
So
the lower
that,
time frames looking on that? How's that 4 hour looking on there right now?
let's go ahead and bring that up. So let's look at the 4 hour. There we go. What a hideous circle. Let me get rid of that. So we're not gooning it up here. Wow. How many times did I do a circle? All right. I'm not going to keep clicking that because it's embarrassing. Look at me. Look at me go. Look at me go. All right. So bringing up the 4 hour, looks everything is trying to load here, but we had a rising wedge. Yeah, Clown Town. There we go. Just get my Mickey Mouse hoodie here. So we had a rising a rising pattern here. So again, that just kind of validates that we did have that support going up and right. We did break out, and again, it almost kind of aligns with the daily. We're coming back down. It looks like we want to retest that as support. So that's kind of what I got my eye on in the short term. And then you could see the prime oscillator. What you would like to see when it comes down for that retest is for it to actually come down into this area, and then again align with the daily. So you want to see that flip of the ribbon. You want to see it start pushing back up to the up and right. And that would be a good indication that we may have a potential long setup. So coming back to the left as well, look at this too, right? So you see this big push up and it got rejected pretty hard. Well, that means that this area is probably significant. So you can see multiple areas here of resistance, and then it tried to get above it and hold support. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that for you just so it makes it a little bit more clear for you. So right about here. All right. And let me flip it to green because I like to use green to show support. So everything is kind of lining right here, that about 123 is kind of a key area. I would set an alert there if you're looking to go long on Theta.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that definitely. And I just looked at the liquidation. There's no hot spots at all on the heat map for liquidations. It's all purple and blues, no yellows at all. So it's flip a coin at this point on that one right now. So I do want to pop up here real fast to address something for Jenna, and then we'll go over and check out Polkadot with OC. So Jenna, here's a concept you can do with that trade that you're in right now, because I'm gonna try to help you out here. You got a long that's going to liquidate at 260. It looks like it's got more upside still. Don't take your loss on it. Not financial advice, but I would not take my loss on that. I know that BSV is a crap token. It's going to pull back at some point. And then, yep, Crypto Belly, I got you. I will look at OXN. I will go look at it for you. It's going to pull back at some point, and what I would watch for is that we have where that resistance is going to be at for the breakdown. So how I would handle this, I would set a long on BSV. That is in the equivalent valuation of my short on it right now. So looking at that as it goes up and continues up, I'm making money on the long that I can then flip in to get a better dollar cost average for the short. And you can just keep working it that way. That the money that you are down right now is the most you'll be down if it keeps going up, because you're making money on a long. You're going to schlong it. You're going to schlong it, Jenna. Schlong BSV until it flips and shows its weakening state that it should be in. And then you can get even a higher skydive off of that rejection point. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do. OXN is on dextools.io. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pull that up while OC guy does his Polkadot here, and I'm gonna go look for OXN on dextools.io. I've used it before for a couple of the guys in the group, so let me go do that while you do Polkadot there, OC.
Absolutely. So let's get started with the very beginning, which is the price action. We are bullish because we have a prime score very high. That doesn't mean that we're going to be longing anywhere. And we can see that despite we're bullish, we always have pullbacks on that bullish trend. That is just part of how the market moves. All right. So the next thing that I want to look at, it is also where is my next big support. On that big support, I want to start looking at where those big spikes might be on the VPVR. Now that I have those located, let me take a look at what's happening with my squeeze momentum. On my squeeze momentum, something important is actually happening here. Let me just make this a little smaller or even zoom in. Here we go. And what's happening at this point is that we are having a different color or a shaded color of that red histogram, which means we could be losing that momentum and turning it into bullish momentum that we had previously here, right? So what I'm looking for is actually from this peak to this other peak in here. And also what's happening with my ADX. My ADX is pointing down. That is good. Why is it good? Because this is calling for strength. All right. So, yeah, that's fine. And if I'm losing strength on a bearish momentum, that means that the price could be having that little space to go back and breathe a little bit. All right. So this, in this case, what I'm looking for, it is a bounce or a possible reversal right here. Let me show you guys that as we were going into the darker shades in here, and also we were pointing down right down here. Let me show you what happened right there. We had that pull back to the upside. Why? Because we are releasing that bearish pressure, the ADX. So the same thing we could be having right now. In fact, that is the same thing that we are factually having right now. All right. So we are losing that strength on the bearish momentum and also losing that bearish momentum because we are reducing on that section. All right. So the next thing is where is my support and resistances? Where am I supposed to jump in? Well, then for that, let me start drawing a couple of lines in here. I'm going to be doing my head and shoulders lines very quickly, and then also taking note of this highs, this double top, and this other high. I'm not going to be considering this one because this could be and most likely will be a breakthrough. If I break through, and then I'll be going for the retest and a possible off we go. All right. If I reject from this, well, then my next big support will be in this zone. When am I going to be jumping for a trade? Well, then based on this one, 3 candles before. So if you didn't jump 3 candles before, your opportunity is gone. Let's just wait for the next possible entry. I'm just missing my neckline in here, and that is going to be the breakout point. All right. Where's my next opportunity? When I start breaking in or almost there into the green cloud in here, and most importantly, as I break above the zero line and I'm going out of that line. So for entry points in here, I'm looking at a breakout and retest somewhere around 849. So let me add an alarm in here just in case we break above in here. All right. And then I'm also looking for a possible entry right down here. So what I'm going to be doing is marking an alarm right here on this neckline. So when I start breaking or hitting that neckline, then I know it's time for me to go seek for a possible. I don't know if I'm going to be taking it because it's very small for a possible short. And what I know if I'm going to be taking it, first of all, I just said because it's very small, and the next one because the trend is your friend, and we're bullish in trend. So I rather not to short the bullish trend when it kind of like looks a little bit dangerous. And based on the market, seems like we could be having more upside. So I'll be very careful of shorting, not financial advice, and also waiting for a retest for longing again, not financial advice. But yeah, that's what I got on dot.
Awesome. Appreciate it, bro. I'm going to jump over here. Here's a little OXN. I had to do some dirty stuff here on dextools.io for this OXN check, but not a lot of data on here, and I'm not able to use obviously a lot of traditional, a lot of typical indicators that I use. However, I was able to pull up on here and do a little drawing here of the fib trade strategy. My trade strategy that I use, where if we go up on a run up and we get a rejection and it comes back and it gets into this golden pocket here and gets support in there, then we enter on the white line, the 382. Well, we can see that we have that there. We got the little bounce there on the golden pocket, and now it is going up. We hit all the way up to take profit 3 there. Based on what I'm seeing here, this bounce that we just had on the 0 line again, coming back up, if we make it back through these, I'm shooting for a target here of 7.7 cents. Looking at that take profit Hail Mary of the negative 1.618. So that's a little quick dirty stuff on there. Your support levels right now sitting at about 2.9 cents. We'll call it 3 cents right there is going to be your first support line. And then our first level of resistance coming up is the 4.1 cents. But if we make it through those again, like I said, that rejection at the 4.8 cents would be the breakthrough that we would look for, probably a retest here, and then head back up to that 7.7 cents. A little quick dirty TA there using my fib strategy on dextools.io. So I hope that helped. It is 8:31, guys. Let's jump over here. Let's talk this out, guys. If you guys enjoyed this content today, please hit that like button down there. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe and notification bell. Get notified every time that we go live right here on Piper Academy, which is Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those that got any content out of this stuff today, share it with your friends, because sharing is caring. And also, as OC just pointed above his head there, follow us on X, Army Piper, The Real OCG, and TradeFly8. We're putting out content all the time to you guys. And while you're at it, if you guys need to be this wired in the morning and this hyped up every single morning, go ahead and check out the link below for legendary aviation coffee, best small batch slow roasted coffee, air roasted, delicious, not bitter at all, 10% off, and it supports the channel so that I can spread the love out to my fellow roadies here, my fellow TA guys. As far as I know, only show on the internet right now on YouTube that comes in every morning before everyone else, with 3 technical analysts bringing you guys this alpha. So we appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to Investing Bros. Shout out to Jenna X. Shout out to Alexo Crypto. We have a great community going here. We're going to keep growing the alumni. So guys, it is going to be, let's see, today's 29th, Saturday the 30th. Monday is January 1st. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of drinking on New Year's Eve. Trade Flyer, are you available on January 1st?
I'll
I'm
be
gonna take that
available.
look as a no. You
I'll
might be
be
hungover.
available.
Let me know. I will be here. I will be here live for you guys on January 1st. But I may be doing it by myself, given how these two plan on spending their New Year's Eve. So I will be here for you January 1st, kicking off the year. Pending any other announcements, I will be here Monday morning. But depending, I don't know. My wife may go. We're going out, get away from the computer, and then I'm not going to be here Monday morning either. But if not, we'll be here Tuesday. Guys, thanks for joining us here. Always a pleasure to bring you guys this stuff. TradeFly, you got anything to say to the people on the way out?
Nah, man, I'm just gonna give you a preview of Monday. Go log on everything. It's gonna be great. Just do
Go
it.
hog on everything. Don't trade drunk. I'm going to tell you that. OC, you got anything, bro?
Yeah, maybe between 3 of us, we can make one single trader. on Monday. I'll make sure to be here. I don't know if I'm gonna be whole. I'll try to, but yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being around. And Piper, let's wrap it up. This way.
Awesome. You got it, OC. Oh, wait, that's trade play. You got it, OC. All right, guys. We'll check you guys out here next week. Most likely Monday, maybe Tuesday. We'll see. Till then, trade safe. And as always, use the stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!